Hey there, and welcome back to the Superheroes playlist. Well, this movie did really break some exciting shit out of me. I mean, definitely it had to be an amazing and exciting experience to go back to the theaters and watch this 3D action movie amidst this very long pandemic. So, talking about the movie, well, truly there's nothing to talk about other than the whole lot of its action scenes. I mean, if I have a quick flashback, there are exactly three action scenes in the movie, and of course, each better than the former. Well, now this might seem a little wavy, but I am gonna really discuss these action scenes broadly. And did I just forget to discuss the story of the movie first? Well, it seems I did. So let's know the movie first, where in fact there isn't actually much to describe. Okay, so here it goes. These are the three characters around which the entire movie revolves, that is Shang-Chi and his parents Wenwu and Yingli. And of course, there are other important characters like Shang-Chi's sister and his friend Katie. Now, thousands of years ago, when Wu, who is the evil plot of the movie, and Shang-Chi's father finds the 10 rings from some crater or tomb or whatever, the 10 rings gave him the power of God and the gift of eternal life. Now, as his evil character suggests, he could have used the rings for good, but he definitely didn't. His thirst for power grew more and more as he conquered kingdoms, toppled governments, and changed the absolute course of history by assassinating people. And eventually, the mystic and hidden village of Talo came into his radar. As he reaches the entrance of the village, he engages in a fight with Yingli, the protector of the village, and eventually, I don't know how, but they start to love each other. And furthermore, eventually they have a family, and this is how the legend Shang-Chi is born. This also proves to be a turning point for Wenwu as he decides to keep away from the 10 rings and becomes a good person ahead. And I think it's now when the movie has a motive that one day an enemy of the 10 Rings organization murders Yingli, and since then Wenwu again turns himself and his children into the assassin group he was once. So things made short, his children run away because they are against the ideologies of their father. Then some years later, Wenwu starts to hallucinate and sees his wife saying it's the villagers of Talo who took her away because they were against their relationship. But as a matter of fact, those were the soul eaters who were manipulating Wenwu so that he would attack Talo and the soul eaters could escape and destroy the world. Finally, Wenwu remains stubborn and, in spite of warnings, attacks Talo, leading to the escape of Soul Eaters. So, at the end, after a fierce combat and dragon fight, the Soul Eaters are destroyed by Shang-Chi, but at the cost of his father being dead. And again, continuing the talk about the action scenes, the first one is in a bus, second in a boxing ring, and the third one in the Talo village.
We cannot do that. Run it down.
Man, it was truly amazing seeing these tricky fights on the big screen with an amazing layer of some cool high beat music and also the mix of some ancient Chinese stones. Now this is the sound from the trailer for the bus action scene. And it really has some punchy beats, as you can hear it. Now, what I really found different and interesting in this movie's fight was that it was a pure hand-to-hand combat with a fusion of martial arts and archery, not unlike many of the other Marvel movies, where it's the science and technology where the major part of the action is played on by guns and alien technology. So that really made the movie much more alive and exciting to watch. Like seeing those kicks and punches exactly happening in front of your eyes really felt great. Talking about the dialogues, one of the catchy dialogues is names as sacred.
Very well. They connect us not only to ourselves, but to everyone who came before.
Which was said by Wenwu. He says that they not only connect to ourselves, but they connect to everyone that came before us. I really didn't understand what the dialogue tried to mean, but I think it's something related to the Chinese culture of naming. Talking about the references, like, man, I just love how there's a connection between these two movies, Shang-Chi and Ant-Man 3. So this is the character Mandarin, who is an actor and is sent to America to pretend that he is a terrorist. And guess who was involved in doing this? Well, of course, it was Shang-Chi's evil daddy. And also, this statement by a friend of Shang-Chi was a little serious but seemed too lame, as it said, "We are now living in a world where half the universe can just disappear," which was basically like a tantrum she threw at the Thanos for his flip finger action to destroy half the population of the world. And there's a whole lot of discussion in the movie related to lifestyle, like clothing, job, trending pop music, cars, and many others, which just made it a bit more fun and connectable. And FYI, there's also mention of Gangnam Style, where Shang-Chi is compared to the singer PSY, who has its origin to Korea. And something easily noticeable for a car enthusiast is that Marvel used a BMW for making two movies back to back. I don't understand, like, has Marvel partnered with BMW as its automobile partner or what? But anyways, it felt so cool watch those two BMWs shatter to scrap piece by piece from its door to roof. A thing I noticed was the movie depicted in a way the gender discrimination, and that the evil character practices discrimination while the good don't. So in a way, it's leading to a mentality that there shouldn't be any gender biasness, which is still like a taboo for many people. And moving ahead to the post-credit scene. Well, you know what made this short movie look like a big one? It was the post-credit scenes, which in fact there were two in this movie. One where there is Wong from Doctor Strange, Shang-Chi, Captain Marvel, and Hulk, who appear through holograms, how they appeared in the Endgame, Avengers Endgame, with their virtual appearance, I'd say. So they discuss how old exactly these 10 rings were, and in the second one where Shang-Chi's sister is seen ruling over her father's kingdom. For nobody knows whether she's evil or the good one, and so definitely Shang-Chi is going to return, and we'll soon find out how it turns out to be. Now, what I had in mind while getting up the theater seat was like, okay, a Sunday well spent, and it's over. Yeah, literally, I felt like the movie had a too short story and no complicated plot. So at the end, I'm going to stick to what I said earlier, that Shang-Chi was okay, but hats off to its shooting, VFX, and its stunts, because that's what made the movie lovely. About comics, I'd say, well, frankly speaking, this was the first time I was able to find and read a Marvel comic on the internet, and it was a fun experience to read it. Well, talking specifically about the Shang-Chi comic, I think that the overall storyline was leading in a similar way, except there had to be some changes in the movie looking at the modernization and advancement. But even after that, the costume and the fighting styles remained in a similar way to the comic, except for the evil character, who is a dangerous criminal mind from China named Fu Manchu in the comics. Okay, so that's it from this video. Hope you enjoyed watching it. Comment section is always open. Do let me know if you have any suggestions or recommendations about which movie do I review next. Thank you, and meet you guys in the next one. Goodbye till then.